What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good Friday. Bobby Fi here. I'm going to be just talking through the slate, what I'm doing, and then what I like and stuff. It's it's a good slate to spread out, I think, a little bit. Probably the biggest thing is the Dodgers run low line has come down almost a run because we don't feel great about the the lineup. It's going to be so high owned. I'm doing the 4 or less, but I do have a couple of like unowned completely pitchers that I'm going to play with the Dodger stacks where I do where I might go to 5 in that case. All right, starting with pitching. My highest owned right now in order are Manaea, Montas, Detmers, Rodon. And then it's very spread out. I've got some Povich, Bradley, Singer, Mikolas, Pivetta, DeGrom, Lopez. It's a big spread out slate. The one I'm going to end up being the most overweight on, probably because I did my builds early in the day, is not most overweight, but that I'll get a lot more ownership of than I currently have, is Brian Wu. Seattle doesn't have anything to play for, which is a little bit worrisome. But I still think that they're going to let Wu like do his normal thing. And I'm looking at him. We've got him right now at 86 pitches. It's not an incredible number, but it's a good matchup. Wu's a great pitcher. Should be able to be fairly safe in this matchup. So again, about a little below the field on Rodon. I'll probably be with the field on Wu. Below the field on DeGrom. Above the field Manaea. With the field Fried. Above the field Montas. A little below the field Pivetta. Probably right around the field. Above the field, Detmers. I do have a note to add some Berrios, as I mentioned, Berrios and Fried and Wu. So those are the other ones. If you wanted to take a stab, again, I'm taking a stab with Povich. If you want to take another funky stab, I think that Jared Jones is an interesting one against the Yankees with the no Judge in the lineup. It's a little bit of a better matchup. There is some weather that could potentially get in the way, but Jones has got good stuff, and it might not be the worst idea to take a shot on him. Especially, you've got Jason Dominguez batting cleanup here. So it's not like this is the A+ Yankee lineup by any means whatsoever. So I'm going to make a note to add some Jones. In terms of stacks, I'm getting more of – so I'm just looking at my exposure. Toronto is my highest owned team. I have a ton of Dodger exposure, but I'm not necessarily stacking them. I have a ton of Texas exposure, and I am stacking them some, but I'm also just using them for value. But Toronto is my highest owned. The Dodgers, again, but I have them in 4-4s. I have them as the 3-man and the 5-3s, 2-man and 5-2s, 1-offs with Ohtani. Things like that is how I'm playing the Dodgers today. So that's sort of the other teams I've noted to get exposure to that I want is San Francisco and Tampa Bay. Those are two that I think have some upside that are getting a little bit overlooked. Of any pitcher on the slate, you've got Pivetta, who's given up the most home runs per at bat of any pitcher on the slate. And as much as Tampa Bay has struggled, their pricing reflects it. They're cheap. And you've got guys like Aranda with a lot of power, Brandon Lowe. I literally still can't figure out how to say it. Junior Caminero, I think, has some upside there. So even guys like DeLuca down there, they're just cheap. And I think that Tampa Bay is a very nice stack to add. So that's what I'm adding. Tell me if you guys have any thoughts or any questions. I'm going to run a quick build for the lottery, and then we can sort of see where it leaves us. We're going to run pretending we have 100 and see where it leaves us here. So let's do this. And we're going to delete this. Add contest sim. And we are going to select the lottery, which is the hidden ball trick today, which I may have scrolled past. There it is. And we'll see what we get. But let me just change a couple things. I'm actually going to import Cheats' projections too. Actually, you know what? I don't know if he's updated them when the last time he updated them, so I'm going to leave them for right now. But I'm going to change a couple things just so I can get this 7.8. And we'll do 9.2. Okay. So let's build. Let's see what we got. Alexander says, dude, I'm trying to get the 1099 deal. It's cool AF. Get to root against Ohtani tomorrow live. Cool, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you're trying it out. I think it's a pretty incredible product, and I appreciate the kind words. And go root against Ohtani all you want. I'll take all. I root enough for him for the rest of everybody, so nobody else has to be cheering for him. And in all fairness, the guy is like the nicest person of all time, and Honestly, why would you root against him? I'm just curious because is there really do Rockies fans really care? I think the Rockies fans will give him a standing ovation if he hits a couple home runs. Like, I didn't think the Rockies fans would have any reason to root against them. They trying to play spoiler for the Dodgers and let Philly have the best record. Sure, maybe that's an argument, but I can't see rooting against Ohtani. It's like, even if Judge came to town and my team was bad, I would still want to see Judge hit a ball 500 feet, like, unless I was the Dodgers or something. But when you're the Rockies, I think you got to just kind of root for the opponents a little bit when they're like Ohtani is. We have our first 8K player, and who knew that was going to happen? And he's going to also be very popular because of it. Let me see something real quick. All right, so this is what we got before running the Sims. What a wild spread out exposure at pitcher. We usually do not get 17 pitchers. They've got 17 pitchers for the lottery. Again, it's before the I do have Brady Singer in the lineup too, by the way. I also wanted to add some San Diego. That's the other team that I thought about. But mostly it's going to be Dodger and Toronto focus for me. I got you, Alexander. All right, here we go. So you see it spread out before that. I'm going to see what they have for team stacks. Houston. Not one I consider. Partly I'm worried about the weather in that game. I don't know. I'm surprised to see the Houston there. I like the Texas. I think Seattle's interesting, even though they have nothing to play for. I like San Diego. I like the Dodgers, obviously, but again, I try not to get 5 minutes. Let's see the type of stock exposure before we do the run the Sims, and then we'll run the Sims and see what we get. Yeah, mostly the 5-mans. You can see even in the pool exposure, it's going to be mostly the 5-man, but there is some other stuff that they're giving you. Sheets doesn't like to do those. I don't mind at all. So we're going to run the Sim and see where we're at right now. Guys, if you don't mind, give us the like button. Click on the like button. We appreciate it. This is probably going to be a fairly quick show, light show. Last Friday, last baseball game slate I'm playing this year. Looking forward to the NBA coming up in a few weeks. And obviously, we have a big football Sunday. Reminder, we'll be live 11 Eastern, Sheets and Rody. Reminder, Brandon Cruz is showing up at 7 Eastern to do his NASCAR show. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and we got some great packages, some great deals out there. I hope you guys can take the moment to join us if you have the chance. So I think we have like Alex is saying. I think it's a pretty good offering. I didn't write my cores in for today because I literally am still waiting on what we think. I'm sorry, on who's going to play. I honestly think there's still going to be players who are stretched. It's just we've seen it so often lately. All right, let's see what we got here. So we're up to 18 pitchers now, spread out. I don't understand. Look, maybe it works out tonight with DeGrom. This feels so fishy to me that this many people are playing DeGrom here. If you're really going to play, if he's going to be 25% owned, why on earth? Again, I've said it every game he's pitched so far. Why on earth do we have him at 83 pitches? We had him at 75 and then 85, and now he's at 83. He's thrown 60. I don't know if they let him throw more than 50 or 60 tonight. Maybe if he doesn't allow to hit, they'll let him go 5. It just feels like the wrong thing to do. I'd rather play the Manaea. I'd even rather play the Rodon. I honestly am worried about Pivetta too. I mean, we've just seen the Red Sox not really care too much about pulling them. I mean, we've seen Tanner Houck twice in a row, and I know it's a different situation for Pivetta, but get pulled really early. So I'm a little bit worried about some of these exposures. I would like to get to some of the other guys I mentioned, the Detmers I like, Brian Wu I like. I don't understand why I'm so far under on Brian Wu, although you could make an argument that his pitch count could be limited too. Freed, obviously, always in play. And then as far as the team stacks go, we've got 20. Wow, it's pretty spread out. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I know it's a spread out slate, but I thought that Saberson was going to try and force us with something, and they really didn't. You see the Dodgers came up at almost 50% of the actual pool, the 5,000 pool, and that's pretty wild to see. Hey, appreciate the kind words, Rick. Always happy to do what we can. So you see, and then let's see in terms of the stack exposure. I'm thinking we're going to see almost all 5s, but look, a little bit of 4-3, 4-4, and 4-2s. I don't mind any of that stuff, to be honest with you. I built for 100, right? Not for 1,000. Did I build? I built 1,000. That's why it's so spread out. Why? God, I could not figure out what was going on. They never spread out this much if you're playing. But I can't play 1,000 lineups. It's hilarious that we even have 1,000 lineups built from that quickly. Good job, Saberson. All right, let's see what we got with the more realistic 100 lineups. So it should take that into account. It shouldn't be the exact same thing. It should be actually very different. I'm sure it'll slant towards the same teams, but pretty wild that I had it set to 1,000 lineups to build. I don't think there's ever a tournament I've played that you're even allowed to enter 1,000 times, much less if you'd want to. I don't even think you'd want to personally. What's happening in the President's Cup? I haven't had a chance to take a look today. Anybody want to give me an update? Who's winning? Are we winning or are they winning? I'm curious about that. Let me know if anybody is watching the President's Cup. But I didn't really play DFS for golf this week. Focused more on baseball and football and getting my early NBA scouting stuff done. I'm listening to all the podcasts, doing all that stuff. Yeah. Rody said he's getting the same spread out ownership. It's interesting that Saberson usually forces you to try to commit. And right now they are not forcing you to try to commit. It's actually kind of wild how little they want you to commit. So it's very unlike Saberson. All right, so we're going to run the sim, and then we're going to do this again. Let's see what we're getting first. Yeah, I'm just telling you guys, if you go in and play 60% Rodon tonight, you better have some inside information that I don't know. I have no idea what the speculation is of why he would pitch long enough. Now, maybe because there's nobody else you feel comfortable clicking, that's why you do it. And it's the Angels, but man, it feels like you're trying to thread a very thin needle. We'll see what the Sims say in a minute, but I am no way. I have one DeGrom lineup, and it is a weird slate. But like, look, you could play Brady Singer, and at least there's upside. And these, the lefties have 16 mile an hour winds blowing against them from right field. So at least play someone with the upside to pitch long enough. I just feel like it can't be right. It's too much Rodon. It's too much DeGrom for me. I don't want to do this. And now, could this be the one day they say, why would they do that? His last start of the year, just battling back from serious injuries. Why would you even push him? I don't even understand why he's pitching in the first place. I think he's going to throw between 60 and 75 pitches. That's my take on him. And if you change his pitches to 75, still borderline playable, but not great. Yeah, still kind of spread out. They got Seattle, Texas, Oakland, Dodgers, Miami, San Francisco. Again, I'm getting to more Dodgers again as 4 or less mostly. I'm getting to to Toronto a lot more for some reason than the Sims like. The Sims did not want us to play Toronto, so they got 5% Toronto stacks. Yeah, it is really wildly spread out. Seattle is the biggest 5-man. Let's just see what we do have a Seattle lineup out, and it is actually a good. Oh, we got Garver batting cleanup at 3,100. That's a good one. Haniger, they're super cheap. Yeah, I think Seattle makes some sense, so I'm going to add Seattle a little bit to the mix. And I don't think they're going to be. It's funny because they're only in 1% of the pool, but you run the contest sim, and they love them for the lottery contest anyway. All right, guys. Any questions or thoughts? Not a whole lot more on my end to go through. It is baseball. It's not like basketball where we can talk through every possible play and this and that. Maybe it's this guy's night. Maybe it's that guy's night. It's baseball. It's just a high variance game. By the way, I forgot to mention this stack. The other stack that I got, and I don't know why I forgot them. They were, I think, my third highest owned stack. Is why not take some of the Rockies? Look at this ownership on them. It is a bullpen game basically for the Dodgers, but like it's Colorado in the same hitting weather as that. Why are they? I mean, they're expensive, but why are we getting less than Look at this ownerships for Colorado. That's crazy. Let's play some more Colorado. So that's going to be it. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, Dodger and Toronto focus, Colorado, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle. Those will be the other teams that I'm including in my mix of either main stacks or sometimes side stacks. All right. Any other questions? Rody, anything you're getting to that's a little bit unusual? Anybody else have a take on the DeGrom thing? Is there something I'm missing? I really feel weird about what's happening here. Let's see. All right. 1 second. I'm just answering one thing in our Discord here. Sure, he will do this soon. All right, looks like it's dry. Oh, what's the best stack for FanDuel? I'll talk a little FanDuel. I'm not playing on FanDuel at all. I despise the tournaments that they've started playing at the end of the season. And I used to love FanDuel for baseball. Something's changed in me. I don't know what's happened to me with FanDuel, but okay. I'll take on FanDuel as far as pitchers go. I think that Wu makes a lot of sense. I would not be doing the DeGrom thing. I think Fried makes a lot of sense. I think Rodon makes a lot of sense, and I think Montas is another one. Montas, Benaia, both of them, but Benaia is a little bit expensive over here. I don't think it's really changes all that much. You're just going to have an even higher owned Dodgers stack and more owned Toronto. So I would probably shift over. Seattle's going to be popular, it looks like, pretty much as well. I don't really think the stacks are any different for me, to be honest. It's just easier to get them in on FanDuel. You're probably going to see less Texas over there because Texas, you don't need to play them as much. Still would like to see a Texas lineup. We didn't have one, at least last I saw. Sorry, I'm just finishing up something. Will All right. Anything else, guys? Let's see. Man, Ohtani. Yeah, 8K. Rody, the first time we've had an 8K hitter. I've played DFS for a long time. I don't remember an 8K hitter. But if you look at Ohtani's numbers for the last period of time, it actually makes more sense than you think. Like, it's shocking. But, I mean, it's pretty wild, the numbers he's putting up. I mean, what's he got? 15, 21, 9, 35, 14, 29, 81. Those are his last games. That's just crazy. Obviously a great matchup, obviously the best park, et cetera, et cetera. I'm still playing them. Everyone from the Colorado, I like that, Alexander, because I think that you can get away with it because Colorado is just getting way overlooked today. I would include some Colorado in the builds. Nobody's even playing them on FanDuel where they're cheap. I think it makes a lot of sense to certainly play some Colorado today. So that's where I'm at. As you said, Alexander, it is summer weather there in Colorado. It's a beautiful day. It's 84 degrees or something like that. Sounds good to me. But I like the Colorado side. I think that getting low ownership, that's a great way to pivot off of a high owned Dodger stack, is to get some Colorado in with there. And I think you can do it on FanDuel with the pricing. It's not too bad for you don't have anybody over 4K on Colorado, where on the Dodger side, depending on who, obviously Ohtani's going to be, 5,400. It's crazy. Mookie's 45. I mean, they're expensive, but like you could play the weird side of the Dodgers and even those guys are actually kind of expensive. Other than Austin Barnes, everybody's pretty priced up. All right, guys, I'm probably going to get out of here. It seems like things are kind of drying up. We do appreciate everything. I want to remind everybody this is the last time for these. This is the last. You got 3 more days for the promo code NFL24 for 24% off your first month. You got 3 more days for 10% off your yearlies. I believe we have the best prices in the industry for what the offering is. I really encourage people to check it out and do what Alexander did. Try the 1099 trial, see how you like it. Maybe you want to come and jump on board. Anyway, guys, we appreciate all you guys very much. Good luck to everybody. And been a beautiful season for some of you, not such a beautiful season for me. I still am bummed that Rody didn't win that million. I was really hoping Rody was going to win the live final. But Sheets had a great season. It was not my best baseball season. It actually was my worst baseball season that I've ever had. But hey, it's not over yet. Still time to get money back. Got a few more hours, or we got like 7 hours from now. Maybe we'll be talking a different story. Maybe I win 2 tournaments tonight. Who knows? All right, guys. Good luck to everybody. Appreciate you all. And